Ho-ho music creators. So you've wanted to write, record and release some music for some time now, but you've never been able to get over that hurdle of starting to work on it. Well, let's make this year the year that you finally do it. Comment below if this is you and you want to release some music this year. Often the problem with writing and recording music is not ability or lack of skills, but it's mental blockers that can stop you from ever getting started or getting derailed along the way. Hopefully these tips will help you get over that initial hurdle and get started on releasing your music this year. Tip number 1, commit to releasing music this year. And when I say commit, I mean write it down somewhere. Write it on a piece of paper, write it on a post-it, stick it on your computer monitor. Change your phone screen to say, I will release music this year. Make that commitment front and centre so your brain will process it when it sees it every day. You have to be careful with this though, because I don't want you to overcommit. If you say, oh, I'm going to release a 20-song double album this year, most likely you won't, and life will get in the way, unforeseen things will happen, and they will derail you. So commit, but be realistic. I think a good target to shoot for is I'm going to release a 4-song EP this year. Now, if you only manage to release 1 song, that's still an achievement. Aim for slightly more than you think you can realistically achieve, but realise that it's okay to only achieve part of that goal, because if you release 1 song this year, then you've released some music. Next tip, schedule time. Things that get scheduled get done, and things that don't, they won't get done. You've got to treat this releasing music as an important thing in your life. If you don't, then it won't happen. Actually schedule time on your calendar to work on your music. If this is important to you, then you have to treat it as important. It's got to be as important as going to work, brushing your teeth, picking the kids up from clubs, whatever. Next tip, just get started now. This is one of the most difficult things to do, including for me. You're probably overthinking it. You're probably thinking, oh, I've got to have some fantastic song ideas to get started, to record. No, you don't. Just press record on your door right now, get your guitar and just start playing. Sit down at the piano and just start playing. It doesn't matter what you record, anything. Just get recording, and hopefully when you just sit down, some ideas will come out. If they don't, it doesn't matter. You've initiated that process of recording. You don't have to have any fancy equipment. Just use what you have now and just get started. Press record and record something. Next tip, following on from that, you're probably saying to the screen right now, but Paul, I don't have anything good to record. I don't have anything at all to record. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Record something crap. Be content to write and record bad songs. This is good, and it's good for 2 reasons. 1, every time you do that, you are practicing. You are practicing the art of writing songs, recording songs. If you practice something, you will get better at it. There's a great quote from YouTuber Vin Jiang, who is a communication expert, and he says, the price you must pay to become great is first you must be shit. And that's 100% true. You've got to be prepared to write bad songs, to fail, before you can succeed. A second reason it's okay to record bad songs is, as you are working on these so-called bad songs, good stuff will come out as you are working on them. An example of this is my song called Filtered. Originally that came from an instrumental song I was working on, which I just could not get to sound any good, and I just discarded it in the end. But there was a middle section in that song, and I took that middle section, and that ended up becoming the song Filtered. So even though I was working on a bad song, it turned out that it gave me something pretty good in the end that I turned out to be really proud of. Next tip, let yourself off the hook. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you recorded something and you're not happy with it, that's okay, for the reasons we've just mentioned. Say to yourself that the next song will be better. If you've missed a scheduled session, Don't beat yourself up about it. Just commit to doing the next one. Life happens, stuff gets in the way. Your plan that you have, it won't go absolutely perfectly. It just won't. So let yourself off the hook when things go wrong, but just commit to getting back on track as soon as you can. Next tip is a psychological trick that I sometimes use, especially when I'm recording YouTube videos. And that is to say to yourself, this is just for me. I'm not going to let anyone else hear it, ever. It's just for me. I'm just having fun. I'm just playing around. Now, astonishingly, this trick does actually work, even though really, I mean, you know that you will play it to other people. But just saying that out loud, it seems to trick the brain into thinking, okay, I can relieve a bit of the pressure now. The brain is weird sometimes. Next tip, be ready to capture ideas. I don't know if you're like me, but I cannot just sit down at the computer or the guitar or the piano and say, I'm going to have some ideas now, and good ideas come out. Just doesn't work like that. Ideas for me, ideas for songs come out at the most inconvenient times, when I'm on the bus or in the bath or in a meeting at work. And if you're the same as me, which you probably are, make sure you give yourself the best chance to capture those ideas when they occur. We've all got these phones these days that are great for capturing ideas. You'll have a voice recorder app on there where you can sing ideas into your phone. There'll be a note-taking app where you can just note down ideas. If you've had an idea when you're playing the guitar or the piano or whatever your instrument is, video is another great way of capturing it. Again, we use our phones. Just quickly prop your phone up on something and video yourself playing that idea. And when you do have an idea, make sure you capture it. The number of times I have had some musical idea and I've said, oh yeah, I'll remember that. No, I won't. I must have lost hundreds, thousands of ideas over the years from me thinking, I remember it, and I don't. So make sure you capture those ideas. Now I can hear you saying, Paul, but I'm not having any ideas ever. Okay, then change what you're doing. Change your environment. Do something different. One of the ways I sometimes can generate ideas if I'm watching TV and I just grab my guitar. I don't plug it in or anything. I just sit there half concentrating on the TV, half concentrating on the guitar. And that way ideas sometimes come out. I don't know why. I think it must activate some different part of the brain, letting your subconscious do some of the work. Another thing is get outside, go for a walk in nature. Try listening to music outside of the usual genres that you listen to try and kickstart some of those ideas in your brain. Go onto YouTube, put on one of those wonderful drone footage videos of gorgeous scenery around the world, and pick up your instrument and try and play what you're seeing on the screen. Just try and do something different to kick those different parts of your brain that are responsible for creation into life. The final tip is remind yourself of why. Why do you want to release music? And I'm not talking about the sort of why that might be, I want to become famous, or I want to get millions of fans, or I want to play Madison Square Garden. I'm talking even more fundamental than that, in that you love music. It hits you emotionally. It fires you up. Put on some songs that you find inspiring, move to them, feel what it does to you. And remember, this is what you want to do for other people. You love music, you love what it can do, and you want to put your version of that out into the world. That's it. I hope these tips will help you finally release some music this year. Put in the comments below what your music release goal is for this year. This is Paul from Home Music Creators signing off. See you in the next video. Cheers.